Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, the AI Radio Show. And we'll be doing this AI Radio Show every day from music. Yes, like that. Mm, I don't think it's okay. I think I've opened a window where my live is currently, live, and I've left it open, and I cannot find the window right now. So that is nice. All right. Anyways, I've muted myself on my laptop. I put my laptop on mute essentially, so you shouldn't be hearing an echo. Let me know in the chat if you hear an echo by any chance, because when I share screen, you will kind of get the audio. So, yep. Basically, all right. Welcome to the AI Radio Show. This is season 3 and episode 6. Can you believe it? We are in episode 6 of season 3. So I just wanted to quickly check, how was your first day back, after the weekend? Today is Monday after all, so I hope you all had a very good Monday, very good start to your week. Um, and also, those of you who have joined me on my Ask Me Anything session yesterday, I hope that was, for those of you who received the newsletter today morning, with all the scoop in it. Please let me know if you all liked it. If you have any feedback, just DM me on any of these platforms. So I would get right into it and then I'll fix it up. Now, let's kind of like look at what we have today um, in today's episode, basically. So today's Monday, and this is the AI radio show that you're listening to. Hey everyone, thank you for those who are still joining in. Yep, I understand that it is Monday, and it can kind of get messy when you're like moving out of the weekend into your regular work day. So what I'm trying to do today is, take things slow. So there is always some kind of a hype that kind of happens in AI. Um, and we all feel threatened by it, and yesterday the session proved to be the exact same thing, right? So many of you had questions as to, like, will AI take over your job? Will you be replaced with an AI? Will you be laid off? So all of these questions kind of stems from the fact because there is so much hype that's going on around AI. So what I've planned for today's episode is basically tell you everything that's going on in the past couple of days, the news part of it, like, what new models launched or which big company kind of made a huge decision which is going to affect all of us. So all these scoop, I assure you that I'll give it to you, but then I'm going to take things slow because you, majority of you, are joining in from India. So basically it's around like 7 p.m., like over a little over 7 p.m. today. So you must just have returned back from your tiring work day, or some of you might still be at work, or some of you might still be commuting back from work. So rest assured, I'm gonna take things slow today. So, yep, we have a lot of things planned, and not just the AI scoop for today. And with that being said, let's dive right into the episode, shall we? You're tuned into the future, feel that flow. Welcome to the AI radio show. Arthi's in the house, let the circuits ignite. Bringing brain power, fire and insight. She breaks down trends with a killer spark. Turns tech talk bright when it's sounding dark. Fast, fierce, fearless. Welcome back. And the first segment of today, as always, is the algorithmic weather. So this is where we kind of, dig deep into what's happening in the AI space for the last couple of days and, if not the whole week. So starting off with, the first things first. So today, as we know, is like February 9th, and there have been a lot of cases, there have been a lot of investments that's been happening, and there have been a lot of decisions that's been made by the governments, which would kind of impact all of us if we are not careful. So, yeah, a year ago, if you remember, we were kind of debating if AI was just a bubble and it would burst any day. But today, the question isn't like who has the best model, because everybody has the best model out there. ChatGPT's, all the GPT models, they have their own specialties. Whereas if you take Gemini, they have their own specialties. And Claude, it's coming up with a lot of new use cases and skills each new day. So it's not about the best model anymore. So, let's fix on that. But it's all about who can keep the lights on, like literally, who can keep their lights on. So we moved from kind of like curiosity to kind of an uneasy expectation, if you will, as the global mood kind of shifts from who has the cool tech to uneasy power center, because we still kind of depend on the lights and the fans and the AC, literally our power for based on renewable energy source like coal and so on. So they are kind of depleting, and at some point in time we would run out of them. So even though we have electrical vehicles, where you can kind of source the solar power or hydropower, but we are not still as advanced as we should have been at this point in time. So at this week, the majority of the news are circling around this specific power, and it's literally a power dynamic. So if you can source power from somewhere, which you if you can invent something, I mean, I think you would be the gem in this specific era, literally. So we saw that in a couple of episodes ago that big tech like Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft, they are seeing a $650 billion arms race. They're planning to kind of invest this amount, and it's like spending at a scale comparable to the post-war highway system. But there is a lot of things that's kind of like hidden in here. Let's kind of dig them one by one, shall we? So first things first. Yeah. So Amazon alone is kind of like guiding toward roughly around 200 billion capex, and Alphabet up to like 185 billion, and Meta around 135, Microsoft 105 billion. So this is now kind of regularly compared to the telecom fiber boom and post-war highway build out, which we actually saw. So this is like 60 to 70% higher than what we had in 2025, which is huge. Now there is always a friction point where when it comes to these huge investments. So the grid, as we spoke about it, it's like pulling the plug on all of these things. Even though these tech giants are like so in on investing around $650 billion collectively, New York just proposed 3-year pause, little pause on any new data centers that can be set up in New York specifically. And the point to be noted is that New York is the sixth state to kind of implement this specific pause. What does it tell us? A lot of things, basically. So for 3 years, no new data centers can be established in these states which have hit a pause at the moment, which means it doesn't mean that all of these tech giants are going to stop operating with all of these huge energy consuming models. But I mean, if you have been observing the news lately, like for the past couple of months, you would be able to kind of tie this all in together. Basically, I'll just put it right in front of you. Let me see that if you can kind of like connect the dots. So late back in like around October 2025, there was this announcement of Google opening data centers here in India in Visakhapatnam. And also there was this Amazon which was opening data centers in Singapore and so on. So essentially, all of these tech giants are opening data centers in many of these Asian countries, predominantly in India. Now, very recently in our Indian budget that was kind of announced, and a lot of new things came out in that. One specific thing related to AI was um, this budget focused on giving out 2047 days of tax free some kind of a benefit to these tech giants if they have the data center here in India. All right, so this is fact number 2. Now, fact number 3, which we kind of saw already, that many of these US states are pushing back, are pausing the opening of any of these new data centers. Now, you have all of these in front of you, and EU, as we know it, they have always been kind of like very slow in adopting AI. They want these regulations in place, they want security measures in place, guardrails in place. One of the news for today is like they have even banned WhatsApp's AI, like the Meta AI that you have on your WhatsApp. It's banned in the EU region. So yeah, EU is, I don't know, they would be the last people to kind of let these tech giants have their data centers in EU, but they might, considering the data is going to be there in the EU. But that's, we will not know about it until they make a decision about it. But thinking about how the Asian countries are like kind of more supportive towards bringing in all these tech giants and opening up data centers here, don't you think it's a little bit kind of, I don't know, these I'm not being negative in any sense, but then I mean, we've known to be exploited in the past. So is history repeating? And also, if this is a good thing for us, because data centers here means faster everything for us, more employment, maybe. So, yeah, basically, I guess only time would tell. But as of this week, there is a 3-year pause in New York. So they want safety versus speed. So, even though tech giants are like, we have the money, these New York and other 5 states which have like put the pause on this is basically pulling the plug on, take a pause, review your security measures, and then come back and open a data center. So that's the new segment on that. And also AWS Trainium. So this is specifically a good one because Amazon kind of disclosed something about Anthropic. We'll see that in quite a while. But this thing about Trainium is something that's very interesting. Let me pull up data on that. Just a minute. Yeah. So Anthropic kind of like commits to buying around 1 million Trainium chips. So, and Anthropic is also kind of eyeing on a $350 billion plus IPO. And Amazon kind of didn't buy the I mean, they didn't buy equity if you think about it. They bought a customer for their own silicon. So it's kind of a perfect loop if you think about it. So Amazon's Anthropic stake is being valued at $60 billion, and Anthropic is trying to buy 1 million, 1 million Trainium chips. So yeah, they are in kind of a loop. Now, moving on to like while the kind of the hardware is hitting a wall, the software is kind of eating itself, which we saw right there. So Amazon with their $8 billion investment, whereas that turned into a 60 billion paper gain because they turned their AI partner into a customer of their own silicon, which worked out well, I guess. Meanwhile, there have been so many apocalypses in the past week. So if you've looked at Anthropic's and OpenAI's ad war, so similarly, there is this new apocalypse called SaaS-pocalypse. It's too hard to pronounce because in just 3 days, what has happened was like $285 billion was kind of wiped off of SaaS's market, and even data stocks have gone down. But why all of this is happening is because the market realized that AI isn't a feature anymore. It's a replacement layer. So when Claude Cowork was launched, it can do literally anything that on your system. So why pay for, they can just like replace the labor that was being available to them, at a premium with a simple tool. So this specific Claude Cowork launch kind of dipped the market by around $285 billion, which is a huge thing. We'll not know if that would ever come up because AI is gonna get better and better, and also not to forget about Anthropic CEO statement as to in the next 6 to 12 months we would see there would be no need to like kind of write code. So yeah, that's just there. All right. Now, moving on to the technical frontier, it's kind of like moving faster than our ability to kind of govern it. So, OpenAI's GPT 5.3 Codex, which just launched like 2, 3 days ago, is now initializing its own self optimization sequences. It's kind of like a junior engineer that writes the code to kind of fix itself. So this self-optimization is kind of a game changer if you think about it, because you need not have a human babysitting the AI. Now, at the same time, intelligence is also becoming too cheap to kind of meter, because Google Gemini's kind of serving costs have plummeted by 78% while processing 10 billion tokens per minute, which means for us users, I mean, if you've been using OpenAI's API, if you switch to Gemini API, I think you would save a lot on credits. And Gemini has reported that there are around 750 million active users. So I think, and also there has been a report where it mentions that ChatGPT would be go out of business and would declare bankruptcy in a few months too, because I see a lot of people I personally know kind of like shift from ChatGPT to Claude. So is it a very hard time for OpenAI right now? I think it might be. Will I shift from ChatGPT to some other platform? I might add another platform, but I do not know because I've been sharing a lot about me to ChatGPT since 2022. So how would I even transfer all of those knowledge into a new tool? That's just unless this specific tool or offers me some kind of a mechanism through which I can transfer all the memory from ChatGPT to this new tool, then I might. I don't know. What would you do? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, so that's about this part of the news. And yeah, the very amazing thing right now is basically ByteDance. If you do not know who ByteDance is, it's basically TikTok's, you know, that TikTok's parent company, like how Google has Alphabet, TikTok has ByteDance. So they released a model called Proteinics version 1, which is an open source alternative to AlphaFold 3. So I don't know if you are aware of AlphaFold 3. It's basically something that you okay, AlphaFold 3 kind of like helps you with it's a biomodel that kind of helps you visualize these protein structures and even predict new protein structures. And there have been a lot of different studies that have been done using AlphaFold 3 to kind of invent new molecules. Even there are a lot of research out there that claims this. So Protein X version 1 is an open source alternative which offers AlphaFold 3 levels performance for proteins, DNA, RNA, and small molecule ligands. So if you are in the biotech field, this news might be interesting for you. And yeah, it's Apache 2.0 licensed, and they also released something called PX Meter version 1, a benchmarking toolkit for over 6,000 plus complexes with time split and domain specific subsets. So and then what kind of implication it has over here is that this is the one of the clearest frontier class capability that goes fully open source, and the biotech industry is kind of like raving about it. Since the original AlphaFold 2 paper, something as breakthrough and as innovative as this hasn't been kind of unraveled. So this is a huge thing in the biotech world. Moving on, so basically, you know how I don't know, before ChatGPT and quite after ChatGPT was launched, and lot many of us like started experimenting with large language models, knowledge graphs was kind of a huge thing. So essentially, there have been a lot of different ways in which you can make your large language model, fine tune it. There was this, no LoRa and a couple of other techniques, and then there was this method of like, you do not need to fine tune your model. You can just like connect it to your database with all the knowledge that you have, and design a RAG system. So that was happening for a while. But today, all of your AI agents can simply work with an agent's markdown file, which is pretty amazing because we've worked for like, I don't know, we've kind of uh, fancied ourselves with this huge orchestration training and writing huge complex workflows. But today, with a very simple 8 KB markdown file, the agents can kind of attain this complex skill and perform all of the complex functions on its own. How exciting. All right, moving on to the next segment where, yep, now we saw this is all over the news. Like everywhere you go, there is around job cuts and tech leaders telling you to like stop coding. So this hype is currently out there. And in just here in 2025, we saw around 55,000 jobs were cut, which is around 12x increase compared to the previous year. But experts are called this AI washing. The all these tech companies are naming it and blaming it on AI, that they are replacing all of these lost jobs with AI. But from my personal experience, I would tell you that that is truly not the case, because even these huge tech companies, they do not have AI figured out. I mean, let's take the company which kind of has these AI, OpenAI or Anthropic. Do you really think they have AI agents running their business? I highly doubt it. And so the experts, why they call it like AI washing is basically because these huge companies which are kind of laying off people right now have kind of like overhired during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, a lot of business made profit and some of them went down. So these business which made profit kind of overhired for features they didn't have. And when AI was this, AI was launched, and a lot of the companies where a lot of different startups kind of churned, which were these AI wrappers around OpenAI. So all these different organizations, because of their hiring mistake, are the ones who are like laying off people left and right. So my take on this is because I mean, I did see on the news that there is this one person who kind of quit their job at this specific company and joined a new company, and they were laid off on day two. So clearly, this is not a skill issue. It's literally all of these organizations, clarity over what they need. So if any of you watching this have been affected by any of these layoffs, have confidence in yourself. It is definitely not you, and it's not your skill issue. And maybe this is your chance to kind of build something on your own, right? Because I don't know, in the coming years, maybe these companies might not exist at all. So why rely on someone else when you can build something on your own? That's just my personal piece of advice and personal opinion on that. You take it if you want. Moving on, we have CEO of Nvidia mentioning that he claims that we've solved the AI hallucinations on the whole, but experts are kind of like lashing back because Nvidia CEO Jensen, he kind of mentioned that AI doesn't hallucinate anymore. But experts, kind of say that LLMs are probabilistic engines, so and they're not truth machines. So what does this mean? It's basically all of these large language models, they're kind of these prediction models, right? So let's say I want a dash because it's raining. So the most probabilistic word to come in the specific dash is umbrella, right? So would I have shoes when it's raining? Would I wear makeup when it's raining? So yeah, basically it has this huge volume of words that are clearly kind of understood and then stored in terms of kind of a context similarity matching. And when you type in a sentence, the LLM would be able to kind of predict the next word. So that's how all of these literally works. So if you type in the same sentence again, let's do an experiment. You open ChatGPT, Gemini, any tool of your choice. You give it a prompt. All right. Let's say write an essay about helicopters, for instance. Now, paste this prompt again in the same tool that you used in a new chat window. You would get a completely different essay, even though your prompt was the same in both of these, different conversations. Because large language models are probabilistic models and they predict next word depending on the whole context, and they vary from time to time. So you cannot really rely on them. So I don't know why NVIDIA CAO kind of said this, that AI is no longer hallucinating, but it definitely will. And if you think about it, hype is kind of like moving faster than physics these days. So that's about it about NVIDIA CEO. And a huge thing happened in Japan's recent elections. So it was believed that around 51.5% of people kind of believed the fake news was true. So there were this huge, I don't know, elections, makes people crazy sometimes. So there were a lot of fake news that were circulating in Japan apparently during their elections. And literally people believed, because let's face it, all these AI generated videos are realistic. There are so many AI influencers. I believe that many of us still do not know that if they are AI or not. So AI videos are that realistic, and it's improving each and every day. So, and then another survey revealed that around 90% are worried about deepfakes. So, this is the liar's dividend, as some experts kind of call it. So, when everything can be fake, proving you are real becomes the kind of campaign strategy. But if you think about it, we can make use of it for our own leverage. So, every content that you see online, let it be an article, let it be a video, or you signed up for a newsletter and that looks AI sloppy. So how can you as a human take that as to your advantage? Is basically showcase your real talent. So my point of view is that how we all became kind of sloppy since 2022 is because we do not think. So when AI kind of launched in 2022, we were literally very excited because writing an essay took around a day, even depending on the size of the essay. But then, if you think about it, like when ChatGPT was launched, writing an essay seemed literally easy, just a prompt away, and within seconds you got essays, poems, news articles, and whatnot. So we stopped thinking. Now, in order to stay ahead in the AI race, I'm not anti AI here. I am an evident AI advocate. So what I'm suggesting is, think of different ways you can solve problems using AI. So I understand that AI can be a huge intelligent being, if you will, but then it does not understand the intricacies of problems like us humans do. So it's practically like, I'm gonna say something right now, and I'm hopefully I don't offend any of the men watching this show right now, especially if you're husbands. So, if you have a husband, to the women, I'm addressing it to the women right now. So if you have a husband, think of this AI as your, husband. So if you give them a task, what they actually do is they'll just do it. All right. Some of them, they might do it like 2 days later, but then they do it. But do they do it with all of these nuances in place? For example, let's say, take the trash out. So this is something that you're telling your husband. So what do? They just simply take the trash out. But you would also expect them to kind of like refill the trash can with another cover, right? So AI is exactly like that. It does whatever you tell it to do. That's it. It cannot think on its own, so it cannot act logically. So that logic, that empathy out there, the things that we see and observe, that in a million years AI can never reach there. So that is our biggest advantage. So how do we apply it in our regular day to day job? Is basically identify these problems, these intricacies. This would take a lot of practice. But then once you kind of achieve the art of it, like be this problem solver that every company wants. So I think you would be irreplaceable, even if they kind of let you go, even after all of these energy that you put in, all of these new skills that you've developed. It would be their loss, because let's face it, you've literally learned a new skill that's needed in the AI era. So you can start something on your own. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm boring you with a lot of advice, but I think in this AI era where everything is going down south, something of this sort is truly and literally required. All right. Now, as we already spoke about this, the EU is kind of charging Meta, and it's kind of like blocking all the WhatsApp AI. So Meta AI does not work in the US, I guess. And then on the other front, Alibaba's new Quen model, it crashes because of overusage. What a problem to have as a company. So it has around 10 million orders. And yeah, so Alibaba is like crashing on that front. I know that they will get back. And yeah, Reddit has a problem. It kind of is like doubling down on verifying that every content that goes out on Reddit is from a verified human. So I think Redditors were kind of fed up with this AI swap. So I think they are kind of developing this new premium asset where you have to verify that you're a human. Already, as a human, if I type in something, I've been blocked so many times on Reddit. And that's the main reason I'm not on Reddit. I'm not so active on Reddit. Now, if they bring this further verification, I don't know. I don't know how anybody's gonna type anything on Reddit. Let's face it. I mean, it's required. Am I right? Now, to kind of like give you all a final rundown of what we've discussed. So remember these three threats, all right? The physical reality. So the grid is the new regulator. So whoever has the power has the literal power. Then we have the replacement layer where SaaS is kind of bleeding out right now because AI agents are taking over and companies are kind of hyping over it and kind of, going all over AI agents right now. And then we have the trust premium, because proving that you are human is your competitive advantage. So work on that. And I think, this kind of makes sense if you think about it. So the future is arriving faster than the regulations. So be this regulatory body which implements all of these rules and regulations and safe implementation of AI. Right. So that's all that's been happening in like 2 days to a week before this episode was aired. I hope I've covered a lot of them. We have a couple of new other segments as well in this radio show. So stay tuned.
Check the feed, check the tone. Signals shifting, seeds are sown. Clouds of data, pressure high. Probabilities in the sky. Ping by ping, the patterns clear. Is it noise? Is something real? Welcome to the forecast weather. This is your algorithmic weather. This is your algorithmic weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Yep. I guess we had a lot of things I was covered in the algorithmic weather segment. A lot of news, a lot of models, and a lot of different investments. A lot of, I don't know. We spoke a lot, I guess, during the algorithmic weather, which is a good thing if you think about it, because yeah, as and when we address these things is when we kind of speak about what's actually going on, and we get kind of a clarity. So let me just quickly go around the room, if we have any. Um, let me think that later, maybe. Okay, mute that tab. All right, so we have currently entered the next segment on the AI radio show, which is basically, usually on Monday downloads, we deep dive into any of these news that we saw in the algorithmic weather. But I thought we'll do a twist today because it's Monday after all, and it's Valentine's week, and I don't know. I just kind of feel that the whole you know environment around there out there is kind of slow, and it's kind of like in a very dismantled state, I mean disgruntled state, if you will. So what I thought was we would do a very quick, fun activity where you learn something, and also if you want to do it on your own, you kind of earn a little bit out of it. So let's get right into it, shall we? I am gonna share my screen. So this is gonna go over here. Let me bring that window. Yep. I hope my screen is with. How come every time I share my screen, something literally long happens, I guess. Let me stop, and then, yeah, I'll share this window. Awesome. We are in the right window right now. Okay, so the tool that you're seeing over here is basically Lemon Labs. I'm pretty sure many of you would have heard about it, would have even used it, and would have even kind of already know that whatever I'm gonna say to you right now. But for those of you who do not know about this specific feature, which is kind of fun and which kind of lets you earn from it, like earn little money from it. So this is what I'm going to be teaching you all today. And before we start, let me just grab this quick link from here, which you can kind of use to kind of sign up to Level Labs so that you get extra credits when you sign up. So these are basically my affiliate links. So if you sign up via them, I get some benefits and you get some benefits. So it's a win-win for the both of us. So I'm just putting the link in the comments of all of these platforms. So if you do not know, we are currently live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So I just need to put this on YouTube as well, I guess. So putting it on YouTube too. All right. Now moving on to the actual product over here. So yeah, so Levin Labs is basically, for those of you who do not know, lets you kind of play around with AI voices. All right. So you can kind of, oh, where did I leave that window? Sorry about that. I'm so messy today. And I hope I've shared the right screen. Okay, awesome. So Levin Labs is basically kind of your AI voice tool, if you will. It helps you do so many things, even if you're not a creator, it lets you, kind of do a lot of things, which I'm going to cover in just a couple of minutes. So, yes, as you can see, this is the Eleven Labs platform. Click on the link that I've put it in the chat everywhere. So, you have a particular thing. This is your homepage where you have a list of voices which you can pick from. You can do an instant speech, you can create an audio book, you can do image and video. So, generate images and videos. There is Levin Labs agents, which is kind of spectacular if you think about it. When I was working at my previous organizations, I kind of experimented with this for automating the sales calls, and it was pretty amazing. So we'll get to it in quite a bit. And you can even generate music. I know creates music, which is kind of fantastic, but think of all those sound effects that you can create. New sound effects, which practically it's like mind blowing. And you can even create a dubbed video. So let's say you're not comfortable speaking in English, so you can kind of speak in your own language and kind of translate it into any language that you want. So this is like all the more fun for creators if you think about it, because now you can reach more audience. So okay, I think there was a light hiccup with the connection, but anyway, those who are kind of starting only recently as a creator and you're not confident enough to go on camera, this specific platform is going to be pretty amazing. Trust me on this. So that is all the features of Lemon Labs. So basically, for text to speech, you just click over here, and I've typed in a little bit of something, so you can literally tune in the how the model should kind of speak. So within parentheses, if you give happy, energetic, thoughtful, excited, and so on, let me quickly show you how this works. So there is this version 3 enhance feature, so that kind of adds the tags automatically if you click on it. And let's say we have added all the tags we need and generate speech. That's it. So what happens here when you generate speech is, that's one version, and the next version is, all right. So basically, yep, you just can give a series of text and it kind of generates voice, kind of dictating the speech, if you will, using AI voices. So you can kind of select from different types of voices. So there are a lot of voices that you can pick from, and you can even clone your own voice. We will look at it in just a moment. So yeah, basically you also get a lot of default voices. But the huge thing over here is that 11 Labs is kind of like beginner friendly, so you need not start paying a premium as soon as you sign up. It has a free tier with around 10,000 credits that kind of renew each month. And with 10,000 credits, you can do a lot of things, especially with short form videos. So, and you also have a voice changer where you can upload your own voice and change it into something else, some celebrity voice, or if you are not comfortable sharing your voice to the world, until you can change it, you know, add a different accent, if you will. Now there is this voice isolator where you have this video, but you want different voices to be isolated. So this any tool can do, even Audacity can do. But what 11 Labs does is basically isolates two people's voices. So let's say this interview has like two people conversing. Any other tools out there will not be able to kind of isolate it individually, right? Like you get two different files of these two people talking, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. And then this is what I was speaking about, sound effects. So there are already a lot of sound effects that's pre-generated for you. Let me play something. Yeah. So all these are non, if you get it from 11 Labs, you need not, you will not get copyright strikes. Those who have a YouTube channel, you might understand the pain of getting a copyright strike. So these sound effects that are already available here, or you can create something on your own as well, will not give you a copyright strike. So that's a huge perk. And then the music is, again, there are a lot of different music that's available here. For example, or right. And again, here you can literally practically create your own music as well. So you just write a prompt and it'll create the music for you. And image and video is yet again an amazing thing to do. So you can either download it, edit it, open it in Studio and edit it, add music or sound effects to it, or create new videos as well. So it works with different models like inbuilt within Lemon Lab. So you are not like burning any of your other AI model credits in here. And you also have templates. So let's say this is the like how it was after and how the image was before. So you can turn any photo to cartoon, you can upscale an image. So basically any functionality you want, they already have a template for image editing and all. So that's about the different playground options they have. And there is this studio where you practically get whatever we spoke about here. You can add captions to your videos, you can create a podcast, you can kind of convert a URL. So let's say you found a website, you can literally paste it here and create a voiceover for that website. You have the script generator, all these audio and video features over there. So you can kind of like literally use all these different features on a blank project and create you know right from this specific tool. And speaking of audiobooks, so this is again huge because uh, nobody, not no, literally like so many of us do not have time to kind of sit and read a book, right? Let's face it. So what we all do is basically listen to audiobooks. I don't know how many of you here listen to audiobooks. If you do, please let me know. I constantly listen to audiobooks. At least I was listening to a lot of audiobooks back when I was commuting a lot, because that's a kind of an escape that I had when I had to like travel via metros and stuff to reach work and then get back from work. So, yep, audiobooks help, and a lot of people listen to audiobooks. A lot of people kind of earn a lot from audiobooks. So this, so if you have written a book already, or if you're planning on writing a book, you can practically upload your book over here and create an audiobook version of it as well. And publishing it into Spotify or Audible is practically very simple. And every sale that you make from your audiobook, you kind of like, that's a added revenue that you can get. And there is also an option for dubbing that we saw. So import your YouTube videos directly over here, or upload a new video that you've just recorded that gets dubbed into a new language, which you can upload to any other YouTube channels that you have in a different language, even. Or not just from a YouTube standpoint. If you have a business, or if you're working at a company where you create videos very too often and you struggle a lot to translate it into different languages, so this is something that you can make use of. Speech to text, this is like reverse of text to speech. So this is like your scribe. So basically you upload an audio and you get a transcript. All right, so that's speech to text. And audio native is basically, this is a plugin which you can install in your web pages. So when users kind of land on your web pages, they can kind of like, hear your web page instead of like reading through it. So that's pretty exciting, is it not? You can easily configure it. You can just embed this code in your website after you've configured all of these settings, and you're good to go. And this would also kind of help you with your SEO, because there have been kind of like different SEO experts saying that if your web page is like accessible to more to like all kinds of people, even those with seeing abilities, then that would get ranked even more. So this is again kind of expert advice. So if you can insert this plugin to any of your landing pages, it might even help you boost your SEOs. And productions are basically like studios, so where you can implement all of these products that we just saw in a single window. So you can produce your own fully developed video in here. Now the interesting part where you can make money from 11 Labs, I'm going to spill the beans. So remember when I said that you can kind of clone your own voice? So you just, create a voice. But disclaimer here is that you would need a creator, subscription, their standard licensing in order to do this, in order to create the professional clone. But, that is around like 2,000 plus rupees. So, or $22. So if you kind of like create a specific voice, and then you can cancel your subscription. So you're just going to be paying 2,000 bucks for like a one-time fee, and then create your voice. So I'll kind of, how you can create your voice is basically, I've already created my professional voice, so I don't think I'll be able to kind of show it to you again. But then this is the voice that I've created. Now, how you do it is basically upload your previous voices that you've already recorded, or you can record it here while creating the voice as well. You have the option. It shows you a list of things to read from. So read it with your regular expressions that you usually have, and your voice gets recorded and it's processed, and a similar thing like this, a clone gets created. And you can even choose a different model your voice should be in. So this is what I meant. You can publish this voice into the 11 Labs library. So remember, we saw a lot of different voices in 11 Labs voice library, right? So if you search for Arthi radio jockey, you will probably find my voice in there, and people have found my voice, I guess. So there are 97 users currently using my voice, which is kind of freaky, but then I don't know what's there in a voice. So yes, if I mean, you can literally sell your voice and you get paid. How do you get paid? Let me show it to you. So I'm just gonna look at the metrics over here. So this is the usage of my voice over time. So I published in January 20 of this year, And then every day it's being used until even today. Today there have been around 3,270 characters that were used today with my voice, that was generated with my voice. Now let's see financial rewards. So wow. Oh, so today, February 19th, 9th as of today, there's around $87, 87 cents, which is kind of low if you think about it. But let me show you one more thing here in payouts. So here, yeah, the total earnings that I've earned in this current payout period is basically 87 cents. Thing is, if you can kind of, pub publicize or market your voice, or another idea is to basically kind of, if you create a lot of these audio from based on your voice, you can clone your voice in one account, and then close the subscription, your voice is out there, your voice is published, create another creator account, because if, anyways, you already have this creator platform, right? So use your voice from that account. So that means that it's been used regularly, so you get paid for using your own voice. And the most successful approach is to kind of like market about it, like how I did today. So if you want to use my voice, make sure that you use Arthi radio jockey, and let me know how it goes. All right, do you want to hear how I sound like? I'm not sure if you have a creepy, right? I did not speak. That is my AI clone. Anyway, so that's one of the amazing things that you can do with Lemon Labs and earn money. It's basically how you market it, right? Put it on. I've tried a couple of things, but not full-fledgedly. So I tried putting it on Reddit threads where people have asked sometimes as to where I can find an AI voice that's with so and so specifications. So if you meet that, you can kind of post your link over there, and people can kind of use it. So the link to kind of use my voice, um, yeah, so this is what you have to do when you want to publish a voice. There is this option of publish to the library, so you have to like turn this toggle on and it gets published. So this is the link to use my voice. I'm just gonna paste it over here. So if you want to try it, I don't mind. So I'm putting it in the chat of all the if of everywhere you're listening this to. So what do you think about it? Will you kind of use will you kind of sell your voice? Would you be comfortable with it, or what is your preference? What is your thoughts on selling your voice? I still cannot kind of get over the fact that 97 people have used my voice. But again, that kind of makes you feel like you're a celebrity. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's been fun. That 87 cents, how much does it translate to Indian rupee? Let's check. 87 USD to Indian rupees. Oh, sorry, not 87 USD, it's 87 cents. So 0.87 USD is 78 rupees. Would anybody give you 78 rupees for free? I don't think so. So, yep, that's basically my journey with Lemon Labs, and I'm just like sharing this knowledge to you as to how you can kind of make use of Lemon Labs to uh, earn on the side without doing something crazy, or without even working on it like regularly. You just clone your voice once and then leave it there forever. And who knows, maybe your voice is like amazing that 1,000 plus users start using it, and you start earning from your voice like on day one. So we'll never know. Put yourself out there. Now, wow, we've been speaking for like 1 hour now. Let me quickly go around the room and check if we have any questions. If not, I think we are going to be skipping a couple of segments today. But it's been fun, right? Like we saw a lot of things. saw a lot of information, new information in terms of AI, the AI news. Um, I also showed you how you can make money from Lemon Labs, which is, again, if you want to try, please let me know if you tried it. DM me anywhere or comment on this video so that I know that I've helped you. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Today is Monday, and I hope you have an amazing week, and all the rest of your days are sorted, and you stay this confident self that you are. So yeah, good luck and best of luck from me. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. on the AI Radio Show. And tomorrow we are going to be diving into this amazing new tool that I've discovered. So I've not like explored on it much. So I'm going to be exploring it live here. And yeah, let's have fun because tomorrow is Tools Tuesday. So what's wrong in exploring a tool? Anyways, peace.